Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping into a really fantastic story. It features Anasi the spider, the famous trickster.
Oh yeah, Anasi. Always clever, always causing a bit of chaos.
Exactly. And our mission today is to look at one specific tale, Anasi and the melon, and sort of peel back the layers, see what's going on underneath. We're working from a transcript, actually, from that little Fox Kids Stories and Songs YouTube video, the one called Anansi and the Melon Folktale Stories for Kids Bedtime Stories.
Okay. Good source.
Yeah, and it's quite the setup. You've got a lazy spider, a super tasty-looking melon, a big trick, and even the queen gets involved.
Right.
How does a simple melon stir up so much trouble? That's what we want to unpack.
Well, that's the beauty of these folktales, isn't it? They seem simple, maybe even just for kids, but they often pack these really deep observations about, well, us. About behavior, consequences.
Human nature, even when it's animals talking.
Precisely. They use these entertaining stories to explore things like cleverness, getting caught, how we see things, all wrapped up in a fun narrative.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Anansi sees goat's melons. They look delicious.
And Anansi, being Anansi, is described as too lazy to grow anything. Classic.
So his immediate thought isn't, maybe I should plant some, it's, how do I get one now?
Exactly. Pure opportunism.
His plan is pretty cunning, initially. He sneaks into the garden, uses a thorn to carve a little hole in a melon, crawls inside, and just starts eating. Simple. Direct.
It really highlights his, let's call it tactical thinking. He sees the goal melon and finds the quickest way in, but there's a catch, isn't there?
Oh yeah, the immediate gratification comes with a pretty immediate consequence. He eats so much he gets too fat to get back out through the hole he made.
Right, and that's where you start to question his cleverness. Is it like smart cleverness or just short-term trickiness?
Yeah.
He often seems to get himself into these binds.
He definitely does.
Okay.
So now he's stuck, trapped by his own appetite. And the story says he grew bored while he waited to get thin again.
Which is such a great little detail. He's not panicking, not really regretting, just bored.
And boredom, for Anansi, seems to spark creativity. Or maybe mischief is a better word. Goat comes back to check on his melons.
And Anansi sees his chance, not to escape necessarily, but to play a trick. He gets an idea.
This is the turning point. Goat picks up the very melon Anansi's inside.
Ouch.
And Anansi lets out an owl, maybe a yelp too.
Yeah.
Just enough to be heard.
And Goat's reaction is perfectly normal, right? He looks around confused. Melons can't talk.
Of course not. It's absurd.
But Anansi from inside the melon, quick as a flash, just says, yes, we can.
Huh. So simple, but so effective.
It's brilliant, really. He takes his own predicament being stuck and instantly turns it into this performance. He seizes the confusion. That's pure Anansi. Adapting, exploiting the moment.
And Goat, he completely buys it. He's not just confused anymore, he's amazed. Incredible. He thinks, I have to show the queen.
You can just picture him rushing off, completely convinced he's got this miracle melon.
So off he goes.
Yeah.
But on the way, he bumps into Rattlesnake. Goat tells Rattlesnake about his amazing talking melon. And Rattlesnake's reaction is pretty much what you'd expect. That's silly.
Skeptical. Makes sense.
But Anansi's ready. From inside the melon, he pipes up with this perfectly targeted insult.
Oh, this is good.
He says it's as silly as a kind rattlesnake.
Wow. Okay, that's not just a random comment. He knows exactly what to say.
Right, it's personal. It plays on Rattlesnake's, reputation, I guess.
And it works. The story says Rattlesnake scowls, so the insult lands, but then she decides to follow Goat to see this melon. And Anansi didn't just convince her, he kind of provoked her into coming along.
Yeah, it's like he knows hitting a nerve is more effective than just claiming the melon talks.
Oh.
And soon, other animals join in too. The belief is spreading.
The power of suggestion, maybe? Or just curiosity getting the better of them.
So this whole group arrives at the palace. Goat, probably beaming, bows to the queen and presents his prize. This unique melon.
Imagine the scene. A goat, a rattlesnake, other animals, all waiting for a melon to speak.
The queen is understandably skeptical. I have melons, she says, basically. But Goat insists this one can talk.
High stakes now. Royal audience.
The queen gives the order, speak, melon. Silence. And Anansi says nothing.
Interesting choice. Why stay quiet?
She tries again. Melon, I order you to speak. still. Crickets. Or, just silence from the melon.
What do you think's going on there? Is he scared? Or is this part of the plan?
Maybe he knew performing on command for the queen was like pushing his luck too far. Or maybe, like you said, he was just waiting, building the drama.
Could be. He's definitely controlling the situation, even by saying nothing. It makes the queen look a bit foolish, ordering a piece of fruit around.
She's certainly getting frustrated. She finally snaps, "What a silly melon."
And that's his cue.
That's the moment. Anansi, still inside, echoes back. "Yeah, silly. You're the one who's talking to a melon."
Oh, that is bold. Directly challenging the queen, turning her own words, her own actions, back on her.
He's not just tricking her now. He's pointing out the absurdity she's participating in, making her look foolish in front of everyone.
And the reaction? Predictable, I suppose. The queen's face turned bright red. Fury.
Absolute fury. She grabs the melon and just flings it, throws it as hard as she can.
So Anansi provokes the exact action that sets him free.
Exactly. The melon sails through the air all the way back to Goat's garden and smashes against a tree, shatters completely.
And out pops.
Anansi, looking perfectly happy apparently. He says, "I'm thin again."
Back to his normal size after all that.
And then adds, "I'm hungry too," before scrambling up a nearby banana tree to safety.
He just never misses a beat, does he? Escapes danger, immediately thinks about his next meal. It really shows how he just lands on his feet. He causes the problem, gets trapped, but uses his wits to engineer an escape, often at someone else's expense.
Yeah, he really does. Meanwhile, poor Goat is back in his garden looking at the mess, the smashed melon.
Must be feeling pretty foolish himself.
He mutters, "I'm never listening to you again." Which, is probably wise.
You'd think.
But then Anansi, eavesdropping from the banana tree, calls down, "Good idea. Talking melons always bring trouble."
Oh, that's just perfect, Anansi. The sheer nerve. And the irony, of course. He is the talking melon, essentially.
He takes zero responsibility, feels zero remorse. It's all just part of the game for him. The trick itself is the reward.
It really is. That final line sums up his character perfectly. Mischievous to the very end.
So, okay,
Whoa.
let's sort of wrap this up. It's quite a journey, isn't it? Starts with him wanting a snack, ends with a royal tantrum and a smashed melon. All because of his laziness and his cleverness combined.
It's a fantastic illustration of how wit, even maybe unethical wit, can manipulate situations, but also how impulses like Anansi's gluttony can backfire.
And it really plays with perception, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How easily Goat and then the others were convinced of something impossible just based on a voice and a well-aimed insult.
Absolutely. It raises that question, how much do we want to believe something incredible? And what happens when that belief, that illusion, gets shattered so dramatically, like the melon hitting the tree?
So for you listening, what does this story spark? Maybe it's just a fun tale about a clever spider getting away with things.
Or perhaps it's a little nudge to, question things that seem too strange to be true. Or maybe look closer at the motivations behind the magic.
It definitely showcases how cunning can sometimes win out over status or strength, at least temporarily.
For sure.
So here's something to think about. What really strikes you most about Anansi's adventure here? Do you see his life, this constant cycle of tricks and escapes, as ultimately satisfying for him? Or is he just perpetually stuck in this pattern, always chasing the next scheme?